close to the end of the Wave 2 reviews. And today we've got Chromia. Because she's kind of got such a slight frame, I'm finding it really highlights the sculpt details here. I'm quite excited to get her out of the packet and see what's what. Here she is, straight out the packet. First impressions are pretty good. There is a lot of backpack, but already I feel like she's faring better than her Power of the Primes compatriots. It feels to me a little bit like what could have been a really nice, subtle head sculpt has been ruined a little bit by the paint mix used for the apps being a bit too heavy. You lose some of the detail in her nose and mouth. Almost makes it look like she's wearing like a mask or something. Really good posability in the legs. You get some forward and back, get some good ankle tilts. This section of the leg does limit your knee bend a little bit. You can move it out the way to get a little bit more, but not much more. Hips are on ball joints with a thigh swivel sleeve. Crack kind of looks cool. Like it looks like plating, but I can't help but feel like it's not actually meant to be there. I don't know. And the only other thing I've encountered so far, sometimes if you throw those legs too wide, boom, you lose this piece. It's just held on with a couple of little pegs there. It's not a huge deal, but I can see that clip weakening with time, and the way it flew off, I could imagine some people losing that bikini brief bit. Faux waist swivel there. You can get a little bit of a rock out of the hips, but not a full swivel at the waist. Universal joint at the shoulders, bicep swivel. It being visible is kind of cool, it suits the whole mech thing. Not bad out of the elbows, no wrist swivel, but wrist hinge. And a good ball jointed head. She does come with 2 EMP grenades that can store on there. They don't actually have a 5mm post, but they have this tab that's the same width, so they stick in pretty easily. But I like that. I like some grenades, some consumables, that's cool. Dink. How you like me now? She comes with this awesome little silence pistol that you can pull the silencer off, put that back on. That's a really cool weapon. I like that a lot. Looks like we might have to do this one a little more quietly. The combination of having like EMP grenades and then with this like silence pistol does make it seem like she's kind of doing, you know, some Autobot wet work stuff, like in and out quick assassinations. You get caught, bug out with the EMP. Small disposable weapon. I think she's an assassin. The name's Chromia. License to kill. Huh? All my senses have gone dead. What's going on? Huh?
Ah, to be Starscream. Huh?
Say goodnight, Deceptichamp. Okay, so you're a mad scientist. That don't impress me much. Yeah. Nap time. So you got the moves, but have you got the touch? Alright, let's get into some comparisons. Here she is with Optimus Prime. You can see he's quite a bit taller. Here she is next to a much smaller dude with Hound. Here she is with some IDW faves. We've got Nordica and Windblade. Shipmates, Camion. I don't know, I've only ever read it. I wonder if that's right. That's not too bad. I mean, they are a bit bigger. I don't know, people didn't really like this figure much, but I thought it looked cool. I liked it way more than her other spindly original version. And you know, it's cool to have a Nordica. And here she is with Transformers animated Black Arachnia. This version of Black Arachnia would have to be one of my all-time favorite Fembot figures. It was just such a clever transformation, and then for such a smooth Robot mode. I really wish I had have gotten when they did the sort of repainted to look like Beast Wars kind of remold version of her. I'd love to get my hands on that at some point. And here she is with Wavemate and Shipmate in more ways than one. Get it? Shipmate, shipping, Shipmate. Where it began, I can't begin to know when, but then I know it's growing strong. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, smashing me, smashing you. Sweet Chromia, ba ba ba. Who'd believe they'd smash so good? Primed you, they could. Da da da, da 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 da. When it comes to being able to armor her up and shift into that super turbo mode, she doesn't quite have the same number of ports as a lot of the other characters. I guess with that extra space, you could probably chuck in, I don't know, some spare guns. Maybe she could, part of her thing is sneaking in to reinforce people. Like some kind of lady robot Casey Jones. I don't know. You gotta know what a crumpet is to play cricket. She can actually still throw some pretty cool shapes. The big feet kind of help balance her out. And in a lot of ways, her being smaller makes a lot of it that much cooler. Alright, so the Transformer's gonna feel familiar and at the same time a little bit different. So we want to just go straight off the bat, arms up, head around, push it down, feet. Alright, you want to flip them up. Those cool boostery, drifty looking panels come down. Alright, like this. Come around to the back, unpack those, bring this back panel down and around. Alright, twist it at the waist. Under this panel here too, flip out this lip. And then now in theory, this should all just smoothly, nicely, neatly tuck down in here. But it hasn't quite been my experience that it goes that way so far. Let's see how we do. Alright, then you got these tabs here, now there. So you're trying to get everyone to behave in a fashion that makes it possible. Tap together those feet. That makes it a little bit easier. And it's just about collapsing it all down. There we go, so finally just tab these in, tab that in. That should all be hunky-dory. Should have something like this. What you want to do then, still with those arms out the way, bring these around so they fit on each side of the body. And it's just about tabbing in the wrists. Same on the other side, that tab, that tab. Alright, they'll fit nice and snug like that. It's one of those ones where it's not all super tabbed, so it relies on you kind of getting all the wiggly, ball jointy stuff square. Like, you know how it used to be hard to sometimes get like some of the panels together in the Beast Wars figures? You just flip those hands around. That exposes these two ports, which I think is cool because then you can stick these on like they're rockets or something and make it like she's extra quick. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a blur from this, just based on this alt mode. And then we have it, vehicle mode. If you want, you can go ahead and plug that gun in that exposed neck hole. Chromia, showing off some sleek styling. This also seems like a good point to get into some comparisons with her sister bots. So, here she is with Nova Star and Moon Racer. What I like about repaints and remolds is the way, like, the subtle differences. Like, aesthetically, these guys all look the same. Then everyone's got a different hood. Admittedly, Chromia is the most different, because, you know, compare the sculpts. That's so smooth compared to this. So it does make displaying some previous series with these guys a little strange aesthetically, but, you know, you just make it that she's the super militarized one or something, and these guys were a little more beauty school dropout. We do have with these two, we've got visible wheels. These are covered up. And I think the exhaust sort of end is a little bit cooler. Hi there. Do you come with the car? So here they are, all transformed, standing together, with the leader one doing a super badass bigger than everyone thing at the back. I normally like to pose figures that have like sort of common molds slightly differently with the kibble, if you can. So, you know, Nova Star, I don't know, I feel like it makes sense to have the wings at the back, and then I leave Moon Racer down with like the back skirt. But it's the robot mode where you really notice the differences with these guys. Like, by not having the combiner gimmick, it's freed up a lot of space in Chromia. So yes, it would have been very easy to make Chromia like backwards compatible with the others, but you know, they're doing green light and there's going to be that mysterious fifth one, so that's cool. Chromia can just be awesome in her own right. The other thing they did with this mold that I really like is they fixed these goofy ass feet. Like, these sticking out in front never felt really right. They've still got the same basic arm shape, so you get a little bit of that overlap there. I think because on Chromia it's all blue, it's a lot less obvious, but fixing those feet, that makes such a difference. Like, I think Chromia's legs actually look really cool. It makes it seem like she could help jump or sprint or something. It's almost got like a Attack on Titan ziplining gear quality to it. She's a little bit shorter, which I guess is mainly to do with these big block feet. I think. Where's exactly is the point of difference? Took me a minute to work it out, but what it was, single jointed knee, double jointed knee. That's what gives them the extra height. An interesting choice to leave it off of Chromia, given that this line's all about posability and articulation. Gimmick free. No gimmicks here, just on point articulation. But we got no waist articulation. Do these guys have that? I'm not sure that they did either. But they do. Because they don't have the skirt that moves. That's weird. That's really weird. Oh well, what do you do? Chromia for you. Sneaky badass assassin. I'm just glad that we're getting more representation in the lines. Like, I think everyone always looks forward to a new RC. Hopefully we get one with this. Maybe even updates to these two, but with them still trying to finish off the combiner, probably not, honestly, but I would like to see a newer Leader 1. I think that would be kind of cool in this style. More fembots, who knows? Who knows where they're going? But it adds a nice alternate aesthetic. And I think in some ways probably makes the brand more accessible. Especially if they're trying to get younger girls interested. Which hopefully the Bumblebee movie did. Transformers is for everyone.